Do you want to practice the intro, or do you know you're just going to wing it?
Have we ever practiced before? I'm not sure it's worth it, is it?
Good point.
This is the Tire Kickers, classic car chat with Max and Matt.
Yes, it's the awards-nominated, unmissable podcast for classic car fans. I'm Matt, he's Max, and we are the Tire Kickers.
We talk about classic cars to save you the bother. This episode, it's starting to get cold and dark, so what winter warmers can we pick to keep us driving?
We'll search out classic cars that still give us thrills, even when we've got the chills.
This is the Tire Kickers.
Also, auction action. We'll be at the recent historic sale, kicking the tyres and checking the prices. But was there one car that got away?
Plus, we take a long, hard gaze at MGAs. They're probably as cheap as they'll ever be. So, time to bag one? Or are they just 250s for fun?
All that plus your thoughts, comments and corrections. So let's grab an umbrella and some damp start as we try to turn over episode 41 of the Tire Kickers.
Yes, Max, without a doubt, the summer feels like it's over. It's definitely getting colder here in the UK, and the nights are definitely drawing in. We've had a bit of sun here and there, but today, I mean, looking out the window, it's so dark. I had to put the lights on to find something, and that was at 11 in the morning.
That's just your eyesight, though. That goes with age.
Just my age.
You can't see a thing. Yeah, we are. I mean, we're definitely heading into autumn, which means those shiny summer classics are now spending more time under a roof than on the road. So would you use the Stag, even if it was dry, but just on a grey day?
It's not the same, is it? I mean,
No.
I prefer not to. The enjoyment goes. I mean, especially convertibles. They're rubbish when the sun goes. I just feel that they're just a bit pointless with the roof up. All that rattling around for nothing. Actually, it reminds me, I do need to tighten that thing up on my roof. It's a
What,
shame.
you mean the whole car? Every bolt on the car you
whole
need to
car,
tighten.
Yeah, it's not when the sun's out and the roof's down and the sun is pinging off the paintwork. You know, you haven't got a care in the world really until you hear that rattle. But you know, after that, I just find the enjoyment goes. You know, summer, I think for convertibles is in the rear view now.
See, I do like getting the hood down on a really crisp day, but it's got to be sunny. You're right.
It's
If
got to be
it's cloudy,
sunny, yeah.
what's the reason for going to the garage and pulling it out and getting the hood down and getting the cover off? It just doesn't feel the same, does it? Sunny days, yes. Cold days, yes. Grey days, no, not really.
For me, the experience goes in the autumn. So I think we need to start thinking about other cars potentially we could use.
Yeah, so here's the question. What can we do to keep enjoying old cars even when the weather is rubbish? Are there wheels out there that will keep us rolling through the winter?
Yeah, or just through the grey. I think I'd like something a bit more solid, maybe sort of a bit more luxurious, something I know that would start, that's an ask, would be warm. I mean, the heater becomes much more of a crucial thing, doesn't it, in the autumn, this time of the year, autumn, winter. And something also I wouldn't care too much about getting dirty. I mean, you know, our cars, we are a little bit fussy about them. They do go straight into the garage. They don't go in the rain. We try and keep them clean. I'm thinking maybe this time of year, it's time to get a classic that you sort of a beater that you don't really care about quite so much. You know, that you can still enjoy, but if it gets a bit dirty, a bit grubby, a bit mud up it, a bit rusty, it doesn't really matter so much.
Yeah, that does open up a few more options. We will have to change our way of thinking, though, because you don't really think about getting things dirty and leaving them out. We kind of look after our classic cars quite well. So shall we find something that's the winter workhorse?
Yeah, okay, go on then. Well, why don't we pick like 3 each or something, and we'll argue them out because yours will be rubbish. I'm thinking we'll probably.
See.
Well, what happened is, I'll tell you what happened. We'll come at it at a different angle because I think I've got a view on this about what sort of car I want, and you'll just go stato specky and what's under the engine, that sort of thing. Let's pick 3, and then why don't we rate them on a few things out of 5? So what could we rate them on? Suitability for the wet and the cold.
Okay, wet, cold, floods, mud. Yeah.
Yeah, crap weather capable.
Yeah.
Reliability obviously becomes a thing because, you know, we're going to need this to start. Potentially, it's going to sit outside, potentially, because we might have to room for it. So it needs to start when the weather's bad.
Reliability,
yeah. Yeah, and or classic cars. It's got to be like a cool factor to it of some sort, hasn't it? Would you want to be seen in it? Or would you not? So we can rate those. So those 3 things: so suitability, reliability, and a cool factor. Let's rate them out of 5 for each other's cars.
Right. And how we'll do it is, I think I'll score yours and you score mine. Because obviously, if I'm scoring mine, it's triple fives. And you can score mine and I'll score
Okay,
yours.
yeah, all right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, go on then.
Now, I'm
Okay.
thinking more of classics that are cheap, so you won't have to worry about driving them through the winter. I think I live in the countryside. They've got to be four-wheel drive to manage that slippery supermarket car park. And they've got to be stylish. So Exhibit A, I think this shuts it down immediately. There's a growing appreciation for these cars. It's a Land Rover, tick, but it's not a Series or a Defender, but it is a Discovery Series 1, the original two-door Discovery 1. Now, I think these are great-looking cars. These came out in 1989. This is a 1989 version up on your screen now. It's blue, 135,000 miles, Series 1 two-door disco. It's got the 200 TDI engine. You did ask for engine specs, so I'll give them to you.
I didn't.
And also it's got the Terence Conran designed interior. So this is a really stylish car right from the outset. Launched the Discoverers, that's now at Discovery 5, and I think discos are really cool. Plus it does that amazing winter all-weather ability.
Well, this is a bit of a lame choice, isn't it? Because you're going to go
Lame?
pick up.
Why is it
well,
lame?
Well, because if you're going to pick a winter car, Land Rover is an easy one to pick, isn't it?
That's not
it's
lame. That's
a
just like listening to the criteria.
a no-brainer car, isn't it? That's no
Perfect,
research,
yeah.
is it?
Tick.
Well, yeah, and a disco, it's a bit boring, isn't it, a disco? It's not the sort of disco I'd like to go to.
No, you haven't been to a disco for a while. Not with your hips. You could say that about a five-door disco, but the three-door disco, the original, so many of these have rusted away. There's not that many left, and this one's been fully restored. Plus, it's only £15,000. Now, for a four-wheel drive with that 200 TDI engine, which is great, and also a complete restoration of the chassis and bodywork, that's really cheap. It looks absolutely corking. I love these discos.
I'm just using my friend ChatGPT to ask it how reliable a 1989.
It's the only friend you've got.
It's telling me how reliable a 1989 Land Rover Discovery Series
Very.
1. Whether it's reliable, it says depends heavily on condition, maintenance, and expectations.
And this is in great condition.
Okay. Well, do these suffer from the electrics problems?
Probably.
Oh, you've gone quiet.
Probably.
So is it going to start?
If you don't need electrics, for example, the engine's really good, and this one has had a full respray. The chassis has been acid dipped and cleaned. There's probably nothing left after that, to be honest, and it's being galvanized and painted black. So it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. This is just. There's no point continuing this segment because I've just won.
Don't think you have, because I think we've got to get to style because it's blue inside. So it's
Lovely.
blue outside, light blue, and then blue inside. Ooh,
great.
It looks pretty yuck. Right, let's do our scoring then for this.
Okay, what are you going to score on the disco then? Suitability for kind of like the wet weather.
So out of 5, it is a Land Rover, it is a disco.
Yeah.
But suitability, reluctantly, I've got to say 5.
Great.
Because, it is suitable for the wet and cold.
Next, reliability. So let's just skip past that onto cool. Let's go straight to
reliability. I'm going to say probably 3 out of 5. I might have even said 2 out of 5 for this.
Well, I heard you say 3. So actually 60%, that's quite good for a Land Rover, isn't it?
Okay, I'm going to be generous at the start. I might get less generous as we go on. Cool factor, 1 out of 5. Because a 1, yeah. I don't think this is cool in it. This is cool if you're a pensioner. It's not cool any other way. I think if you offered me a lift in this, I'd thank you for that, and I'd want to get out pretty quick.
Don't worry, I won't be offering you a lift because you'll just be moaning about the interior. Oh, it's a bit blue, isn't it?
Your light blue G-Reg Disco 1, I think it's not cool. Definitely not cool. So you've done quite well there because it is, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 15 for that.
Okay.
Right, let's move you on to something a bit better. I'm thinking this is gonna win in the style stakes. I'm sort of looking at something that I would like to be in. Because look, you talked about being in the countryside and needing a 4x4. I don't need a 4x4. I live in the south of England where autumn and winter is kind of more wet and grey, and it's all just a case of the rain stays the same, it just changes temperature, it just gets colder. So I need something that's warm and has wipers that work. That's my sort of two criteria. Now in summer, I sort of put up with basic for roof down style. So I don't mind basic because you're listening to the engine and you're enjoying the sun on your face and all that sort of stuff. To get through the autumn and winter, I want something that's a bit more luxury. So that disco doesn't fit that at all. I want something less plywood and more burr walnut. So I offer you Exhibit B, which is a 1985 Series 3 Jag XJ6 4.2. What do you mean? What are you laughing at? This is graphite grey.
XJ6 for the. Did you read? You know that bit that we just read out at the beginning when we talked about the winter and you're offering an XJ6, which is
This
one,
is going to look
too
cool.
low to get through even a puddle, two, unbelievably unreliable, and three, that would just slide around on even a slightly damp road.
Right, shut your face. Graphite grey on silver steel wheels, 8 years of ownership. It's only on its second owner. It's got an MOT to August 2026. It's tax exempt from December. 7,495. Now, the only thing is I can't see if it's got heated seats, but that's not a deal breaker.
No, it won't have heated seats unless they're aftermarket.
I can see this. I'm not going through puddles. I'm just going to the petrol station down the pub.
Yeah.
I can see this lit up at night with both those tailpipes smoking, warm inside, smooth engine gearbox, cut off from the outside world with a heater on. I think this would do me, to be honest.
Utter
no.
nonsense. Okay, I'm going to take you. I've just seen this for the first time, and I've done some quick scrolling, and I've got to page 17, picture 17. If you have a quick look at picture 17, you will see that the rear wheel arches are covered with rot. This is rusting away already, and you haven't even driven it through the winter.
Doesn't matter. That's what we said. We're going to be less precious about this. I think for like $7.5
precious.
grand,
I want it to pass an MOT.
Long as it starts, we're past an MOT. It's got an MOT till 2026, so that's fine. So again, this is a classic car. We're not going to sort of get prissy and uptight about. We're just going to run it, use it. I mean, granted, I will be going to a lot of petrol stations.
Yeah, but you won't be getting there because even in the smallest of bad weathers, you'll be stuck at home. You won't even be able to get off the drive in that. I mean, it's rear-wheel drive. It's got those big fat tyres. It won't do anything in ice, snow, or even a tiny bit of slush. You'll just be stuck spinning your wheels, looking at your rust.
Look at those leather seats, though. They're nice, aren't they?
And I mean, it's a nice... I like XJ6s, but it's just the wrong pick. It's just wrong for the kind of winter criteria.
It's not winter criteria. It's autumn and winter. And as I just explained to you, if you were listening, that in the south... In the south of England, we don't get snow very often, and if it does snow in, I'm not bothered. I don't want, bread and milk. I'll leave the Jag on the drive and I'll walk. But, for the rest of the time when it's just slushy grey and this would be perfect. You're warming up, automatic gearbox, leather seats, nice and warm and toasty. There's twin tailpipes going, all lit up in sort of, maybe not lit up with the Lucas Electronics, but, within that sort of dull glow. I think that'd be classy. I'd love to smoke around in that for the next 6 months.
I mean, it won't start, but, let's just say you get somebody to give you a push and it manages to start. For suitability for the wet, I'm going to give you 0. Because
but what do you mean for the wet?
Precisely the wrong car for what we've been talking about.
Well, it's not.
Reliability.
No. Hold on, you can't give me.
Too late. I've done it. I've just written 0 down.
No. Because you're saying that I wouldn't be able to use it then at any point in time. I'd be able to use this for the next 6 months, no problem. Maybe not when it's snowy. 1.
I'll upgrade you to 1.
I might downgrade you on the last one.
Reliability.
Okay, that's not good, is it?
Well, you gave the Disco 3, and essentially, they used some similar parts. So I'll get apart from the engine, they used the. Oh, I'm going to give you 3 as well.
Yeah, it's not.
I do think the XJ6 is a cool car. I don't think you'll find it very cool when you are on the hard shoulder, for example, in a bit of frost. So you gave me 1 for the Disco. I'll give you 2 for cool.
What? It's more than 2. That is more cool than 2. I could have gone later.
Arthur Daly is not cool, and Arthur Daly in the winter is even less cool.
You're wrong. I might have to right. You wait till your next one then. So you'll give me 2 out of 5 for that.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 out of 15.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Gloves are off. Gloves are off. What rubbish have you got next?
This is perfect. Now, what happens when it snows and you're not near a petrol station? Because you'll need to be only ever within 5 miles of one. You've got to be a bit more realistic. How about a tiny 4x4 with a great European pedigree? Now, you'll see these all over European ski resorts. It's the humble but unstoppable Fiat Panda 4x4. And this is a 1981 Fiat Panda 4x4. This is great.
On reliability, 0 out of 5.
It's no, but these are great. These are fine because they're so simple. There's nothing to go wrong. This is a 1981, so this is the Series 1. It's got the original bull bars on it. So the bull bars, both at the front and the back, will weigh more than the car. These Fiat Pandas, you always see them in like Swiss ski chalets, gently rusting through the summer. And then in the winter, they get them going and they're great.
Yeah, because they're not moved. You saw them in the adverts by ski chalets in the winter, but you've not. Where do you ever see a Panda 4x4? It's not like one of those cars that's revered for years and people keep it for ages.
They are in kind of like Europe. Right. They're tucked away in Europe for the winter because they're great winter cars.
Yeah. I had a Fiat Uno, and I wouldn't put that down as reliable. If this has got any of the same underpinnings or engine, I wouldn't do that. Yes, it's a 4x4.
Is this coming from the XJ6? You are arguing reliability, having just picked an XJ6.
It's just going to be very, very basic, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what you want, isn't it? It'll get you there.
No, that's what I said I don't want. I don't want basic.
You will be
I
sat
want
on the hard
luxury.
shoulder in comfy leather chairs, and I will be at my destination in a Fiat Panda with the added inclinometer. Look at picture 10. It's got the inclinometer on the dash because it's the 4x4.
I don't know. I'm more inclined to say no to this one, whatever angle it's at.
Go on, you score
that's
this
horrible.
then. Score the Panda.
Right,
Score
okay, score the Panda. Suitability, well, I'm going to have to give you, I would give you 5 because it is a 4x4, but it's a Fiat, so I'll give you 4. And then I'll give you 3 because you underscored me last time. So
What?
Suitability, 3 out of 5.
3, but it's perfect for the winter.
Well, so you say. Reliability, I'm giving you 1 out of 5 because it's a Fiat and it will go wrong.
It's dead simple. Lots of parts of the Panda.
Yeah, that'll be dead when you try and start it up. And cool, 0 out of 5 because it's not cool in any way, shape, or form. It never has been. So that's 4 out of 15. You got there.
Right. So this is how it works now.
Yeah. Well, you started it. I can't. I'm not shivering in that. You could get bread and milk potentially when you're snowed in, but I'd rather eat stuff from tins or go in that. I want a bit of style. Preferably some heated seats, and it's got to start. Now, on that point, what country makes cars that are famous for starting in the colds?
Well, kind of like the northern hemisphere countries. So Sweden.
Yeah.
Swedish.
Sweden, exactly that. Saabs.
You're going to go for a Volvo.
No, Saabs. Let's go Saabs for this one.
Okay.
I found a video of one on YouTube, which I'll play while we're talking. And this is being started at minus 23 Celsius. Now, the guy's walking up to it here in the dark. He pops the bonnet, and then he's got a temperature probe in his hand, and he's pointing at the block now, and it says minus 22. So that's pretty cold. Will it start? Well, I don't think that Fiat Panda's going to start, but he's now inside the car. It's got the key in ignition. Temperature gauge inside says minus 23. So this is a real cold start. Let's see if he can turn it over. And whoa, there you go. On the first turn. Now, that's something you want when you're cold because you don't want to be messing about, do you? You want something that starts. So I went looking for a Saab. Now, a lot of these Saabs are a little bit modern for me, but you're going to have to let me get it under the wire in terms of a classic. But that start on the button thing is what I want in the autumn and the winter. So I might have to suck that up a bit.
So one of the early two-stroke Saabs, is this what you're thinking?
Well, no, I've chickened away from that. I was looking at a 9.3 or 9.5. So have a look at this. Saab 9.5 Estate. It's a 2009 T-Turbo petrol.
What? 2000? Hang on. This is a classic car podcast, don't you?
But it's a modern classic.
But you don't like modern classics.
Well, no, I don't. That's why I've caveated it. It's 2009 grey leather MOT, heated seats. Have a look at this, Max.
It's a Vauxhall Vectra. It's a Vectra platform.
99,000 miles. Shut your face. Manual. And did you own this car? It says last owner for 12 years was elderly. Is that you?
You'd have to be elderly. This is the Dame Edna facelift where you got the chrome bits around the headlights. This is awful. I mean, the 9.5s were okay, but they were just outclassed by everything. They're not four-wheel drive. They're quite big, I suppose. That's the only thing I can say about it. It's definitely not a classic car, and it might get you through the winter, but it might not because the ECUs are really dodgy. And also, they torque steered really badly, these 9.5s. I mean, you just went straight ahead, whatever you did with the steering wheel. I think this is a terrible choice for the winter. Two-wheel drive, Saab, breakdown, no parts, and torque steer. So no, sorry.
No, it's big. I can get in all the equipment I need to tow you out of the breakdown.
You won't be towing me anywhere in a disco because it's too heavy.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking more the Fiat Panda. This is a bit late for me. I would have gone earlier. I'd have gone sort of early 90s, but it's going to start as demonstrated.
It's not. Those 9.5's not that reliable.
Well, we'll go for a 9.3 then.
Yeah, they're Vectras as well. No. I think actually the 9.3, that was the basis of the Chevy Malibu as well.
The other downside of these is parts that are a little bit sort of difficult to get.
Non-existent.
Non-existent. That's the danger of buying a car from a car company who's gone bust, isn't it?
So you'll be driving to the scrapyard trying to pull bits off in like January temperatures. So your car might start at minus 23, but will you be able to pull a starter motor off a wreck at minus 23? Probably not.
That's a good point. Or I could look on eBay from the comfort of my house, couldn't I? Right, suitability for the winter.
I mean, it's a Saab front-wheel drive. If you put some winter tyres on, I'll give you 2.
2?
Yeah.
Reliability.
I'm going to give you 2.
Cool factor. It does look cool.
I mean,
doesn't it? Does look cool.
It's got that night button on the panel, isn't it? So you can turn the instruments off.
Whether it's a Vectra or not, those wagons do look quite cool.
Mm.
I'd drive one of those for the autumn and winter.
Everybody would just ask you, is it a Vectra, mate, at the petrol station? No, I'll give you 2, so I'll give you 6 in total there.
6 out of 15. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on. Have you got one more?
Well, I have. You're not going to like it.
I've not liked any of them so far. So you're on
I'm
a
gonna
roll.
like this a little bit less. Now, if you've got this far, first of all, well done. Secondly, you're probably thinking there's a blindingly obvious choice for super stylish winter classic. Something with 80s cool, a bit Vorsprung durch Technik, and 4-wheel drive. The Audi Quattro, I hear you shout at the back. I say no, too easy. Too easy.
No, that'd been the best
How
choice so
about
far.
another rally icon, usually driven flat out on blind corners? This car had a huge following with people who drove really, really badly, hence the nickname, the Impreza. I give you the Subaru Impreza WRX STI PPP. Now, here's one in full Impreza spec. It's got gold wheels. It's got lots of different coloured hoses under the bonnet. It's got a massive rear wing and a huge tin can exhaust. What a winter weapon. This is even better than the Disco, I think.
Yuck. Yuck. Ugh.
Imprezas, great. Look at picture 2 of the engine. It's got red hoses. Oh, it's just great. It's had every single add-on that you can buy from Halfords. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it certainly has. Oh, these are terrible. Why? What?
Great
what are you
cars.
thinking?
Absolutely great cars. You know, they are fantastic in the wet. They start all the time because it's Japanese. They hold the road fantastically because it's 4-wheel drive. I mean, it's a bit leery.
I'm just looking at it with it. You know, it's in blue with the gold alloys with the sort of Subaru whale tail thing on the back. It's ugly from every angle, isn't it? I mean, I know
they are ugly. I mean, but they're an ugly car. But you just get past the ugliness because you'll be getting to your destination.
Well, I wouldn't be getting to my destination. I'd rather walk, to be honest, than go in that. I mean, I know they're a sort of an iconic car. I could see this as a little model car on your if you're into rallying and stuff like that. But this does, as you say, looks like it's been, magnetized and driven through Halfords. It's covered. It's covered with a load ram-raided through Halfords. That's not stylish. That is
stylish because you will get there.
Cool.
And also, if you like rallying,
Zero.
this is Uber style. And I'll give you what it's got on it. It's got RM Performance engine rebuild, RTS clutch, flywheel skim. Don't know what that is. PFR7B plugs. It's got KYB Ultra rear shocks. It's got everything you could ever need in the Subaru Impreza package. And this is the WRX STI, which is the top of the range. And then you've got the PPP, the ProDrive Performance Pack, and that was an extra, which made it the top of the range. So you can't get any better than this. 2003 Impreza, whatever you want to call it. I think it's great.
For the scoring, are we doing it from the eyes of a 15-year-old? In which case, I'll give you 5 out of 5 for cool.
I'll take that.
Otherwise,
Hang on, 5.
No,
we're doing it.
We're
doing it. It's got to be practical. And this is ultimately a very practical winter car. It's going to work all winter. You're not going to skid anywhere, and you're going to get there first because I will be able to outhandle your Jag XJ in a flash.
Suitability, I think this is like turning up in a shell suit for a job interview. It's not a good look. So suitability, I would say, well, but it is, it's a good
rally
car
star.
in the wet. Yeah, I've got to unfortunately give you 4 out of 5 for that.
4, great. Yep.
Reliable, well,
Yes.
It's Japanese, so it's going to be again 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
No old cars completely reliable. Cool. Yeah, in my eyes, I'm scoring it 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5.
I mean, that's 9. That's not bad, to be honest.
9 out of 15.
That's on a par with the Discovery.
I can't leave you on that, though, so I'm going to throw in another one quickly. Another Swede. I wouldn't get normally excited about old Volvos, but for the brief, I think we've got to talk about them. Have a look at this. It is a Volvo.
It's a Volvo, yeah.
Hold on.
Some mistakenly a Volvo.
Give me a sec. With autumn optics on, I think a Volvo does become a bit more interesting. Normally, I'd sort of say like 240, 260 or 740, something like that. Maybe an estate. We've done an estate. Let's just go for this one, though. Chuck it up on your screen because it's got a bit of... You accuse me of not having a classic car kind of eye with the Saab. So how about this? Volvo 244DL. So it's a 2-litre 4-door saloon. 1975 on an M plate. Orange. Bit punchy price-wise at 10K. But at least it's got a bit of style. Have a look at inside.
Yeah, it has got style. It looks like somebody has nicked some material off a deck chair on a beach and shoved it into a Volvo. I mean, yeah, I love these Volvos, as you well know. I'm just looking at the pictures. This hasn't got an ounce of rot on it at all. It's orange and orange inside. So it's, it's an acquired taste. But if it's going to be a Volvo, you might as well stand out. Otherwise, you just look like a dad turning up in a Volvo.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit more sort of garish, hasn't it, to have that sort of classic feel about it. I think a Volvo.
Picture 36.
Yes, picture 36. Hold on,
It's got a cloth underneath where it is mopping up some damp, I think.
Don't worry about that. And you say it hasn't got any rot. You've clearly not got to the engine bay yet. It's just quite a lot of rust there. But look at the inside. It is quite cool. These Volvos. If you picture
I'm just at the engine bay. Yeah,
it's the 70s Volvo that looks like it's got a bit of is it underbite or overbite at the front? It looks like somebody's face with the lower jaw stuck
Oh, I know.
out.
That's overbite, isn't it?
That's overbite. Yeah. So it looks a bit like that. But as Max says, inside it's got this deck chair, very 70s interior, bright orange velour with black stripes down it, which is quite cool. I think if you sat in it too long, you'd probably want to get out and give you a headache. And you wouldn't want to drive this car when you're a bit tired because it's quite loud inside in terms of the colour. But I think that's quite fun. I think it's a bit punchy on the money, as I say, but these old Volvos are racking up in price. But there was certainly on a grey day, that bright orange car would
orange inside and outside, so you can't escape it. I mean, I really do like these Volvos. In fact, I love them, particularly the saloons. I think it's a very stylish car. I think, reliability, it's quite old, isn't it? But it is a Volvo and all the parts are available.
Well, take that optimism and reflect that in your scores. So, suitability.
Well, it's still not four-wheel drive.
Was that 5? Did you say 5?
It's still not four-wheel drive, is it?
4.
Mine have been four-wheel drive, so you'd have to put winter tyres on it.
I can do
so
that.
I think that's 3. Suitability is 3.
It's a Volvo, though.
3? It is a Volvo, yeah. So reliability, I will give you... I'll give you 3 for reliability because it is quite old. What year is it? 75.
74. Oh, 75, yeah.
It's quite old still, isn't it?
Cool. It's quite cool, isn't it? It's quite cool.
It's quite cool, but not. It's still a dad's Volvo, isn't it? So I'll probably give you 3.
No, 4. You've got to go 4.
No,
it's cool. That interior is cool.
If it had been an estate, I think that's probably cooler. The saloons are quite cool, but not as cool as the.
But hold on a minute. If you opened that door up and saw that interior on a grey day,
I'd vomit.
That's quite cool.
Yeah.
Go on 4.
People would laugh at you. No, it's 3. It's still a 3, I'm afraid.
6 out of 50. Okay, looking at our scores then.
No, hang on, that's 9. 3 3s.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. 9 out of 15.
Do you want me to get the calculator?
Welcome to the GCSE Maths podcast. Right. So looking at our scores then, we've got 3 tied on 9 out of 15. We've got the Volvo. We've got your thing,
Disco.
Subaru thing, and the Disco.
Subaru.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 3 are mine. So I think 66%. I think I might be the winner here.
I would say the brief was to find a classic car that you could use in the winter, and a Disco is not a classic car. I don't think anybody would.
Says the man with the Saab 9.5. I mean, that's from 2010.
That's out of the equation. That's out of the equation. Your Disco's about to be out of the equation because nobody. If you pulled that up a classic car meet, people would say, "No, sorry, the other parking's around the corner, mate."
No, but a classic Land Rover meet, and you would win.
They wouldn't. They'd laugh at you.
Not Disco ones. People really like Disco ones at the moment.
They wouldn't. If you turn up in an old Series 1 or something, maybe. So. No, scrub that. That doesn't fall classic. So it's down to it's neck and neck between the Subaru and the Volvo. And I've got to say, I'm thinking about the classic car meet that I would have gone to this morning if it wasn't raining. Which car would they beckon me in? And which car would they say
it was raining, so you didn't go?
No, because that's it. Because I didn't have my Volvo, my 1975 orange Volvo. If I had that, I'd be rocking up there. And I've got to say, if I turned up in a Subaru, they'd probably go,
Yeah, I kind of get where you're coming with the Subaru because it's quite modern. What I'm going to do is reintroduce the Disco because I think the Disco is a genuine classic in Land Rover circles, and the Volvo is a genuine classic. So it's a tie between the Disco and the Volvo, but I think I'm editing this, so it's the Disco which is the winner. Goodbye.
So, episode 41 of the Tyre Kickers, and shortly we'll be getting hammered at the recent Historics auction and asking ourselves, was there a car there that we should have bought?
We'll also have a good look at the MGA and ask if now is the time to get one.
But first, let's hear from you. In the last episode, we talked about acceptable kit cars, namely the Cobra kits from people like Hawk and Dax. Steve Clicky Clark's been on to say, how about Westfields as an alternative? They stand up as kit cars in their own right.
While Keith Gran Turismo gave us a more model answer, saying the best Cobra kit car is the Lego 427 SC, set number 10357 to be exact.
Well, that's a showstopper, but that's fun at parties. Time now to sound the correction klaxon, Max. Oh, there it is. DT McMurtry noticed that when we were talking about 60s Mustangs, you referred, Max, to the non-V8 version as a V6. But luckily he knows more than you and pointed out that it's actually a straight 6.
He's exactly right. It was the later Mustang that had the V6. Now, lots of people mentioned our AI Instagram post about crushing the Princess. Sadly, it looked a bit like a Skoda. Apologies on behalf of AI. Custom Skill says AI wants to save the Princess as it's crushing another car, a Renault Audi Princess. Rat Roller said the photo was a pastiche, a Ford Avenger.
A couple of comments from our Spotify page. Now, if you've posted on there, sorry, we've only just really found out recently that you've been there, so we've not been ignoring you. Chewer UK 1961 says, don't diss the Princess. It's the first car I drove after passing my test. His dad had an 1800 HL in, is it Carmine Red?
Carmine Red, yeah, nice.
Carmine Red, yeah. And it was faultlessly reliable. Also, the back would dip at clutch biting points, so for new drivers, it was great. Well, so you could see where it was biting in your rear view.
No, but I remember, because if you had the handbrake on a Princess and you let the clutch out, the actual back was so lightly suspended, it would dip down. So it would give you that great kind of bounce feeling. So you can actually dance them on a locked-off handbrake.
I'll take it all back. Stop the crusher! Because apparently the back goes up and down. He agreed with you, though. You were banging on about the Ambassador, which came afterwards as being terrible. He said that was a huge step back. Well, great as ever to hear all your comments and corrections. Do keep them coming. And if you want to know how to tell us what you think, here's how you do it.
You can find us at The Tyre Kickers UK on Instagram and The Tyre Kickers on Facebook.
So we've been moaning about the seasons turning into winter, but there have been a few sunny, warm days since we last spoke. So I'm guessing you've had the stag out a bit.
Yeah, we have done. I mean, it's been raining all day today, but we have had a few sort of warm days. There was one day of warmth in September in the last couple of weeks, which was quite good. So I ran it down to Sussex on a 70-mile round trip. Now, that is proof that this stag is, if nothing else, usable. It did it without any fuss. I even sat in traffic on the way back, wrote some roadworks, which I thought, oh, here we go. And it didn't overheat. The temperature gauge went up just a bit. It stayed at half. Now, full disclosure, I did put the heater on to help it, but you'd do that in any old car, wouldn't you? You know, I just didn't want to.
Maybe unless you had a great history of overheating, as I believe the Stags
I do that in any old car. I used to do that in my Spider. I did it in Sunbeam. I'd all do that because that's a way of just getting a bit of heat out of the engine, isn't it? But you know, I didn't want to tempt fate, but it was pretty good, and it's given me confidence to go a bit further. I went to meet my mate Chris at a pub, and he brought his baby blue Sunbeam Tiger, which he's been restoring. Oh my god! You know, you've got those friends who've got just the pristine cars. You sort of think, unless I throw a serious amount of money at any car owner, and it's not going to be like that. He does it all himself, and his results are really, really good. So it was lovely to see that, although it was running on 6 cylinders rather than 8, and it did have a smell of oil when I drove it, so we had to park it back in the car park. Maybe next time.
Was that a little smirk in your voice when you talked about that? Maybe not so perfect after all, Chris.
Actually, and Chris, he will admit this. I gave him a drive of the Stag. He had a drive of it, and he went, "This is really nice to drive. I'm quite surprised." So the Stag is having an effect. Everybody who's getting in it and having a drive of it is really, really liking it. Have a look at the photos on Instagram. We took them for a play date. You can see the photos of the two cars there. But it is giving me confidence, Max, to run it a bit further, which I'm quite surprised at, or pleasantly surprised at. Talking of road tests, have you been road testing anything?
I have a friend of mine called Frederick, who lives in my village, has bought a Citroen SM. Now, I have lusted after these for years. I've never actually driven one, and he let me have a drive. Now, his is amazing. It's a left-hand drive. It's a manual. And then when you actually get to sit in the Citroen SM, you really start to appreciate just how weird this car is, because it's a beautiful blue one. It's got a kind of orange interior, not dissimilar to that Volvo we were looking at. And it's just so comfortable. And it's just such a strange drive, because it's got the self-centering steering, which is a bit weird. So on a roundabout, you're kind of fighting it. It's got all the kind of, normal Citroen suspension, which just feels like it's going to tip over and then doesn't quite. So actually it handles strangely well. And it's got those kind of brakes that are on and off.
You've not mentioned the most important thing about the Citroen SM. It's got a Maserati engine, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Well, yeah, that's the first thing you say, isn't it?
No, because it's not, because there's a reason I'm getting to that. So I'm getting through the good bits first.
Okay, here we go.
Good bits first, drives really nicely. Quite a kind of an acquired taste, but once you get into it, it's great. But there's the engine. Now, the problem is I didn't drive it for very long because the big red stoplight came on because it was low pressure in the hydraulics. And the day before, Frederick had taken it down that section of the M4 that you and I had talked about before, where there's no hard shoulder.
Oh.
And guess what the SM did? It spewed its fluid at high pressure all over the windscreen. Stoplight came on. They're in the slow lane of the M4, no hard shoulder, left-hand drive. So obviously you opening your door onto the Armco, if you can get out. Luckily, there was enough fluid to get it into one of those kind of emergency refuges and then call the emergency services and got them towed. But that SM, beautiful but flawed because it does have that really complicated system. And even when I drove it, after he had filled it up and changed the hoses, that red light still came on. So great car. When we opened the bonnet, I just looked at the engine and went, what on earth is going on here? The gearbox is closest to you. The engine's kind of mid-engined. There's fluid hoses, there's clicking motors. It's just the complexity of it just made me think, oh my God, who dreamt this up?
How do you make a French car more complex? Put a Maserati engine in it. It is notorious for being a bit of a head scratcher in terms of like how to fix it. I mean, I haven't got the budget for an SM, but if I did, I'd probably be a bit scared away by the complexity of it because when it goes wrong, I imagine those bills are quite big, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're on this one as well, because they had air conditioning. The air conditioning had been taken off to make it slightly less complex, but even so, a really complex car.
So before the engine warning light came on, describe the driving thing again.
Just beautiful. I mean, it's quite quick, surprisingly quick. It rolls from side to side, but does grip eventually. I did a couple of roundabouts, and it kind of, initially you think, oh my goodness, this is rolling everywhere, but then it does bite and grip. And the self-centering steering, just weird, because it's fighting you in the wrong direction, particularly it's a left-hand drive. So it's a very weird car to drive, but once you get used to it, wow, what a car. And also, it just looks incredible. You would forgive anything on that car, apart from breaking down on the M4, because of the way it looks. Hello, this is the Tyre Kickers, episode 41. We are outside. We have left the studio. Matt and I are doing a little road trip to Historics Auction in Ascot. Now, last episode we picked 6 lots that we thought were quite interesting. So we've decided to come and have a look at them, and then after this bit, we'll be back to the studio and we can see what prices they achieved. First of all, hang on, Matt's just wandered off. He's got a catalogue and he's drifted off looking at other cars. Matt! Oh, hang on, I've just got to go over and see him. Princess Matthew won't come to the microphone. I have to go with the microphone to him. Yeah, what?
Oh, hello, you the valet parking?
Just get out of here. Come and have a look at this car. This is one of the picks that we made in the last episode, remember? It's a Ford Mustang.
Oh, okay. I've got to look at that first. I was looking at this one first.
Yeah, we'll go back to that in a minute. So this is a Ford Mustang. It's the coupe, it's the V6, so it's all the things that are slightly unloved by the enthusiasts, but I quite like them. The coupe is quite a pretty car. The only problem is, as I'm getting slightly closer to it, the shut lines aren't as good as I hoped.
No, first impressions, you do that thing, don't you? Walk up to a car. Let's open the door here. Yeah, the shut lines, as you say, the door here, if we come to the passenger door, yeah, it's not even shutting, and then the shut lines in that are not really very good. It's not, yeah, it's a bit so-so, isn't it?
Again, from a distance, I thought this was nicer than it looks close up. It hasn't got an aerial in the wing, so it's just got an aerial hole. What I do like about it is the steel wheels. It looks quite sort of tough, but bearing in mind it is the 2.8 V6 and automatic. Not quite the car maybe I thought it would be.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. It's already got compromises before you look at it because it's not got the V8 in it. So you're looking for like a wow car, aren't you, to make up for that? I don't like the wheels. So the wheels are very plain. They're just like plain steel, cheapo wheels.
The one thing that this has got in its favour is it's guided quite cheaply. So this has got to be a cheap car. If you could get it for, I don't know, 10? 9?
Yeah, maybe. You could pretty it up. You could put some nicer wheels on it. They don't need to be like blingy, but these look cheap and rusty. So change the wheels up, sort a bit of the bodywork, sort the shut lines out, give it a good clean, and then I think that's quite a nice usable car. It's a left hooker, obviously. It's automatic, so it's not actually, as we talked about in the show, it's not actually that big. It's probably about the size of a large kind of Mercedes coupe. So it's not too bad. You could park it in your garage. You could use it. You could run it out. You can get 4 up in it. I think it's usable if you can get it at the right price.
This was one of my picks, and I'm not quite as impressed with it as I was when I looked at it on the internet. So let's move on quickly to this, another of my picks, which I'm really, really keen on. This is a 1985, is it? Mercedes 230 CE Coupe in gold. Absolute corker this. We both just had a quick look round this and really, really like it. The CEs, the 2 doors, They're quite a distinctive shape of the W123.
Yeah, now walking up on this car, totally different scenario, because you walk up and it's like, ooh, it's had a paint job by the looks of it. It just sits really nicely, and it's the coupe, which doesn't look that amazing in pictures, but when you look up at it in the flesh, it's really, really nice. But the real treat of this car, Max, is come here. Opening the driver's door, just have a look inside there.
Oh, I'm getting whiff of 1980s Merc.
Well, it's the thing we talked about on the last show was that this car is up for sort of 10 to 12, I think, on the estimate, which is quite on the toppy for this, but I said it would come down to condition. And look at that condition inside. It's absolutely beautiful. It's almost showroom fresh inside. Have a sit in there and see what you think.
This says 76,000 miles on the clock, and I reckon, this could be genuine. It just feels untouched. The steering wheel isn't worn at all. The sun visors are lovely. It's got a factory sunroof. The headlining is really nice. This is really nice. This is a lot better than I thought it would be.
There's a couple of bits that let it down. If you come around to the back at the boot, there's a little bit of grot. We spotted this on when we looked at the pictures. That could be tidied up.
Yeah, but with the boot up, look underneath that carpet.
Yeah,
factory toolkit.
Let's pop the bonnet up.
Right, Matt's going inside to pull the lever, and the little lever is popping out through the grille. Now, look at that. Beautiful. Now, when you lift the bonnet, it's a little bit rusty, but it is only surface rust. That 4-cylinder's slightly lost inside this engine bay, isn't it?
Give that to a painter. You could tidy that up in a day or two, to be honest. The battery's a bit aftermarket-y, but, that's not a bad sign. The hoses look good. The Jubilee clips look fairly clean. They're Mercedes Jubilee clips.
And actually, if you look at all the shut lines, they're all pretty accurate, aren't they? The bolts that are holding the wings in, that's quite nice.
It's really clean. I think you'd have a lot of fun driving about in this in the summer. You say you get that factory sunroof open, you drop all the windows down, so pillarless coupe. The paintwork in this kind of goldy colour looks absolutely fantastic, and all the chrome on the doors and everything. Oh, I want this car.
You're going to have to fight me for it. This is a corker.
I don't want to shut the door and say goodbye to it.
Come on, turn around. More lots to do. Okay, this is a 1967 Alfa Romeo Duetto. So this is a round tail, the 1600 in white. Interestingly, the shut lines on this are quite good, which is always what you pick up on Alfas.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit distracted by the Grace Jones in the background. Try and ignore that. It's pulling up to the bumper on this. The chrome bumpers are actually quite nice. Yeah, it's in white. We talked about this in the last show. It's in white. It's not the chosen Alfa colour. But if you come closer to the car, it's actually all right, isn't it? It's doors sound good. Obviously it's an Italian car. The interior looks quite fresh, actually. There's a few little bits you could tidy up, but it's a lot better in the flesh than it looked in the book, actually. And I think it's interesting, and the estimate is a lot lower than we've seen for Duettos.
Yeah, the paint's a little bit off if you look down the sides, and it's got some terrible kind of modern car radio aerial tacked into the back. But actually, again, the shut lines of the boot are quite nice. Hood's a bit tired. Wheels are about right. Interior seats are nice. I think these are still quite valuable cars. This one's not too expensive, because really there's not that many right-hand drive Duettos around.
I'm not that fussed about the boat tail. When you look at it in the flesh, it's not all that, really.
Oh no, it's much prettier. We've seen a camtail outside, and this is a much prettier car.
But actually, the car in the flesh looks pretty good. If we come through to the interior, the interior looks quite fresh. It looks okay. There's a little bit of tidying up you do around the dashboard. The doors sound all right. Whoops.
Because doors normally sag on these because they're not structurally the most solid of cars, but it's okay. Yeah.
It's a monocoque body, so it does sag in the middle if it's not right. But I think it looks all right, actually. I think I still like the camtails, but if this is the right sort of money, and the estimate's much lower on this than we've seen in previous years, so definitely one to watch, I think.
Right-hand drive Duettos, they're quite rare. This is a 1600. It's guided between 22 and 28. I think it's going to go about 26.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on it.
Next up is what was a really nice Citroën DS that's been chopped up into a kind of convertible special. I'm not really much of a fan of this.
It's quite intense, isn't it? Oh, no, well, no, it's not intense. We're going in a tent, because this is the car that looks like it's got a tent on the top of it.
Yeah, this is not a great look, to be honest. The original Decapotable, is it? I can't remember how you pronounce it.
Decapotable.
The original was really pretty. This is just, it's a kit. It's a little bit awkward.
It's the Citroën DS, but it's had the top decapitated, and then they've put this roof on, and with the roof up, it doesn't look good. It looks, like Max said in the last show, it looks like a go outdoors tent's been stuck on the top of it. With it down, it's okay, but it just doesn't feel very showbiz, this car, does it?
Let's sit inside it, because I think it's a real shame that there's an original car here that's been butchered Ooh, nice comfy seats. It's got that great DS interior. I've just sunk into this sofa. That's fantastic.
It's a sofa. It's quite Fausty in here, though. It's a bit damp smelling, isn't it?
Yeah, that's because, guess what? The roof doesn't fit.
The roof leaks. That's why.
They're lovely to drive, but it just seems a bit strange with this roof. And I'm guessing because it's an aftermarket conversion, it'll wobble. What's this guided for?
This is guided between 30 and 40,000.
Big money.
Yeah, it doesn't feel special enough for me, I've got to say. I've seen one of the proper ones of these, and in the flesh they look fantastic. This just doesn't. It feels a bit sad.
Right, up next, one of your picks and one of mine. Let's start with one of yours.
Yeah, you accused me of becoming a Triumph fanboy in the last show, but
what do you want?
This is a bright red...
Exhibit A.
Bright red 1972, good year, Triumph TR6. Paintwork is really nice. It could do with a bit of a mop and polish, but in the flesh it looks really good. If we come forward, it's got MX-5 seats in it, which I'll probably make it more comfortable and usable. I think
they've got speakers in the headrests,
which is a slight detraction from it slightly. However, I think the interior is pretty good.
It's got the aftermarket walnut dashboard. I don't like that.
Yeah, I like that because the standard Triumph one was a bit rubbish. Yeah, let's look at the wing mirrors, the Tex wing mirrors. Oh, they're not wobbly, which is unusual for a Triumph. Overall, it sort of sits quite well. It looks like a car that's obviously being used for touring, which is why they put the decent or more comfortable seats in it. If it goes like it looks, it should be all right. What's it estimated for? Let's have a look. 18 to 22.
Also, this has got the upgraded fuel pump, hasn't it? It's got the Bosch fuel pump, which is much better than the Lucas original. Yeah, it's quite nice, actually. You could go do some miles in this. It's got mini-light wheels. It's in nice red, good condition. I quite like TR6s, but they do shake a bit. It's shake, rattle and roll on the corners.
Yeah, I mean, you're buying the engine with a TR6. That straight six is lovely. The chrome's really good on it. I mean, we're looking at chrome on classics these days because getting it re-chromed is a nightmare, and then otherwise you're looking at stainless steel bumpers, but it's pretty good. For a 1972, this is the same age as me, and which looks better. No, don't answer.
Well, we know the answer to that, and it's the TR6. Right, coming up next to it is my pick. It's an Austin Healey 100. Now, I prefer the Healey 100s to the Healey 3000s. I think it's a much purer look. If you look at the front grille, it's just less gopping. It's in a lovely colour, this, some kind of metallic blue, guided from 38 to 45,000. Now, I actually can just about get in this. I don't think you'll be able to, but Healey 100s, what a great car.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to take the mic from you, actually, because you're going to get in it. Let's see, he's getting in the door now. You've got to reach inside for the door handle.
That's the cable door handle, and squeeze in. Now I'm 6 foot and svelte.
Yeah, and you're quite lithe, I think is a nice way of saying it. And you had trouble getting in there, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a bit of a squeeze, and also the steering wheel's right up against my chest, and the pedals, my legs are pretty much bent at 45 degrees to get in here, so it looks good from the outside. I'm not sure how far I could drive in. It's probably about 10 minutes, 15.
That's the thing about these old Healeys is that they're quite big cars, but actually for the driver there's not much room. I mean, Max is sat there, his head is above the windscreen, he's right up against the dashboard. I've driven one of these and it was very, very scuttly, and this is the one with the weird gears in it as well. Beautiful to look at though. If you stand back from this, it does look nice. It's on wire wheels, it's in that nice blue. No, yeah. Unfortunately, just get Max out of the car. It looks, that's much better with you out of the car.
Okay, this is the start of the show for me. It's a grey 1951 XK120 with a kind of like a dark red leather interior. I think I described this in the last episode as the chef's kiss car. I think this is absolutely perfect. On wire wheels, being freshly restored, small steering wheel, so you might even be able to get in it. I love this XK120. It's just class.
Gunmetal grey, it's on immaculate wire wheels, the red leather cockpit interior. It's not just a red leather seats, it's trimmed round the edge in this sort of claret ox bloody kind of leather. It just looks gorgeous. Every angle of it looks fantastic, doesn't it?
The history on this car is really interesting because it was a knockdown kit that was actually made in Ireland to avoid some tax. It blew up its engine, it's been to New Zealand, and that is a key point. It did blow up its engine, and it's not a matching numbers engine and car, but to be honest, I don't care.
Blah, 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 blah. You reckon I couldn't get in this, so I'm going to give it a go. Right, so
I know you won't be able to get in this.
Reach inside and you pull up this leather-bound sort of drawstring inside the door. Oh, it is small, isn't it?
I've already had a go at getting in this, and it was a squeeze. You can slide in. Yeah, legs haven't got in yet. Get your right leg in. Right leg is in. Steering wheel is basically in your crotch.
Right, shut the door. Oh, I can't.
Shut it on his leg. That's the best.
Right. So let me describe the driving position. So I'm 6'3". My knees are up. They're literally up. Imagine that you were sort of in a bobsleigh. I would say that's probably the best description. I couldn't turn the steering wheel because it's rubbing against my leg. My size 12 feet can't really press the clutch down. It's pretty tight in here, isn't it? But it does look beautiful. Oh, it's such a shame though, because it's such a beautiful car. I mean, is there any room? There's no room to put the seat back in. No, you run out. There's no space, is there?
I thought that. Can you actually change it so the seat moves back? But there's literally no space for it to go. So you either fit in these or you don't, which is a crying shame because neither of us do.
Such a shame, but what a beautiful looking car. I'd just buy it, park it, and look at it.
Okay, Matt and I have made our picks. I've picked 3, Matt's picked 3. Matthew's here from Historics Auction. Matthew, you've seen our choices. What do you think of them?
You say eclectic. I'd say you're quite safe a little bit there.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean...
Nobody's called us safe before.
Yeah, an XK120, an Alfa Duetto. I mean, they're pretty standard. TR6. The 104 is lovely. It is absolutely beautiful, that car. And it's what we were saying a little earlier, is it's had an awful lot of money spent in the right ways and then not been used greatly since. So whomever purchases that is in for a pleasant surprise. The 230CE I think is the nice eclectic one there, which I quite agree is stunning. And where people chase down those fabulous particular models and these are forgotten about, that's a real sort of gem in the rough, I guess.
Do you know, with the market as it is, do you still get that gut feeling about what cars are going to do well, or is it just come down to the day and 2 people wanting it?
It's come down to the day more so. I mean, I always joke that if I knew the market that well, you'd be speaking to me on my yacht because I'd be buying the best and sticking them away. But generally speaking, you get a feel for a car based on the quality of it. But it's always chasing the price. So if you find a car that's absolutely stunning, but the customer is holding it to ransom, they want way too much money, we know where we're at with that. Everyone wants the car, it's too much money, you have this inbuilt fight with the bidding. Sometimes you get very lucky whereby someone's quite pragmatic, or it's just got to be sold for what it's sold for. I just want to see what the best it does. If you get a very attractive estimate and a car such as that CE, which is beautiful and collectible, we know we've got that gut feeling it's going to do well.
So crystal ball then, out of our picks, which ones do you think are going to be the hottest?
I think the Duetto, Alfa Romeos always do well. Alfa buyers are always very strong.
Fantastic. That's one of my picks, by the way. I just want to point that out.
It's in white though, isn't it?
Well, white on Alfa Romeo Duetto is not a bad colour. You know, you can go red. It's a bit like a red Ferrari with that. So I think that will do well.
And it's got quite a sort of sensible reserve on that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and that will
compared
generate
to what they were like years ago. Yeah.
Exactly that. So that will generate interest.
The right-hand drives are still quite rare. There's not many right-hand drive Duettos around.
I don't think it matters as much anymore because you're not going to be overtaking much in an Alfa Romeo Duetto this year. Good luck to you if you do. The XK120, it's a buyer's market for a 120. And I don't mean to down XK120s. I prefer an XK120 over an E-Type or a 150 because I prefer the look. You're quite right, you need very spindly legs or you need to adapt the steering wheel, but it's a beautiful car, and it's really iconic. But it is a buyer's market. There's less buyers about, so the sellers naturally have had to start retracting their values. My pick out of a lot of them is still the Austin Healey there because I think just it's a hell of a lot of car for the money.
Can I just point out the Healey was one of my picks as well? I don't want to say
whatever,
2 winning
whatever.
picks, but I thought the Healey was fantastic because it's just got that look of the early Healey. It looks like it's going fast even when it's parked.
Yeah, they're really pretty cars. When the E-Type really stratospherically drove on and pushed on, which I blamed Clarkson for when they did the anniversary stuff, the Healey didn't didn't go with it. And to me, the Healey is... I just think it's a cooler car. It's the man's car. It's a bit more of the race car. It was designed for hill climbs, for all of these other aspects. It had very little paraphernalia with it. It was just about engine, driver, go. Yes, it was rattly. It was a little less refined. But to me, that's what I want in a classic car.
What's your pick of this auction then? What's your particular favourite? What would you like to go home with? Ooh. And we're not talking value here. We're just talking car enthusiast.
Oh, so just one. That's always tough because we're always surrounded by them. Sadly, it'd have to be a bit sedate and mundane, but it's that Bentley Brooklands over there, the coupe, and because I just think they just are incredible to drive. They're so relaxed. It's polar opposite to what I was just talking about with the Austin Healey, and I can't help myself but think about the values of those as well, and I shouldn't, but that would be a fantastic car to own. From a driving perspective, however, I'm tempted by the race cars, but I still like a 930 Turbo. I suppose if I wanted to really own a car on my driveway, that probably would be an easy pick.
It's never going to go down in value, 930s, are they? Because there's so few made. I think I would have to go home with that XK120 and just have an operation to shorten my legs. Matt?
No, I'm happy to do the operation if you want.
Chainsaw.
No, sledgehammer, I was thinking.
Any particular pick? What would you go home with?
The XK120 is beautiful, but I just think, you know me, when I think about classic cars, it's about what can I use, what can I drive down the pub, and I'll be taking that gold Mercedes home just because I think it looks like a time warp car. It looks like it's driven out the showroom. So yes, a nice little trip out to Ascot there. Thank you for buying lunch, Max. It was quite a dry sandwich, though.
Well, it was dry, but yet still strangely expensive.
Exactly that. But it was good
Nothing
to get
in
out there.
It cost a lot.
It's good to have a look round if you get a chance to go and see one of those historic auctions, which are generally down in the south of England. Go and have a look when they come up. I think the next one's at Brooklands. But let's get into what stuff sold for, and let's get straight into it.
Yeah, first of all, that Mustang coupe that I quite like from a distance, 1965 coupe, the straight six, not the V6.
Not the V6, no.
That went for, I thought if it was going to be under 10 grand, it'd be quite good value. That went for 11,440. So there's quite a lot of work to do on that car.
Let's move on to the 1985 Mercedes 230 CE, which I will confess that I was sat there waiting to bid on it because I thought it might go super cheap. Because we looked at it.
If it's under 50 quid, I'm going to get it.
Exactly that. So I watched that and I thought, right, if it goes to 5, I'm going to go for it. I'll buy it. And it shot over 5 pretty quickly. And then it sort of stalled out and it went to 7.5. The internet feed dropped out and then it sold. So I think it went for 7.5. So with a bit of maths, that's 8,625 with the fees all added on. Still not too bad.
It's quite good. I think anything under 10 is pretty good for a coupe.
I've got one eye open looking at these. So maybe in the next year I might keep my eye open to see if any else come through an auction because I think it would be a very, very usable car. I've just got storage. I need to find some storage for it. What was next? Oh, that 1967 Alpha Spider Duetto, the 1600, the white one.
These used to be going for around 50 grand. And I thought if you could get it for under 26,000, that would be good value. And it went for, drum roll, 18,876, and that is a super cheap right-hand drive 67 Alpha Duetto.
Now, talking to 67, Citroen ID19 convertible that we talked about, the one with the tent on the roof. I saw that go. I was watching the auction, and the numbers went up than that pretty quick, about 40 or 50 grand. It's now listing as sold for an undisclosed fee, which kind of means it's probably gone to a dealer. So yeah, that one did sell. We're not quite sure for what, but it was certainly in the 40s.
Next up was that 1972 red Triumph TR6. Now, we both had a good look round that. We both liked TR6s. It actually was unsold. The estimate was 18 to 22,000. So unsold. Probably the wrong time of year for a TR6 to be sold, to be honest, in September. But I think that was quite a good one.
Talking of cars that had a bit of work to them, the Austin Healey 104, which had obviously had a lot of work done to it. 1954, we both liked that. It was a bit tight to get in, but that also was unsold. The estimate was 38 to 45, which probably a little bit high. It probably isn't. It's really difficult with these old cars to kind of guess it.
I'm surprised, to be honest, because that had had a lot of restoration work. That was absolutely on the button perfect, and it had been restored by very good people for a very good customer. So I'm surprised that didn't sell because the quality shone through on that one.
You're talking of quality, that Jaguar XK120 that neither of us could really get in. I mean, it was beautiful, wasn't it? 1951.
It was by the door when we walked in, and both when I walked in and walked out, I thought, oh, I've got to have that car. But I couldn't because it's 64,000 it went for.
That feels like a low number for a car of that quality. That would have got more a few years ago, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. You know, XK120s were well over 100,000 and now it's in the 64s. Partly because lots of people like us can't get in them and partly because it's that generational shift. But it's still an iconic car. Can you get a better car than that on a classic British B road? Probably not. Now, as you've just heard, we both fell in love with a Jaguar XK120 that was for sale at Historics. Now, is there a nicer car living rent-free in your imagination than that XK120, spooling along the coastal roads of the south of France? Forever peak classic car.
Yeah, sorry to wake you up from your dreams. I don't think you've got to get past the south of Croydon in that before you have knee ache. You didn't fit in it, neither did I, and it was also 64 grand. So it's all immaterial because it's just not practical or affordable.
Yes and yes, okay. But what if you could afford a swoopy 1950s roadster which shares some of the styling cues and a period roadster feel? Now, there's loads of these for sale. It's easy to maintain with lots of parts and specialists. Here's my Car Magazine cover headline: the cut price XK120... the MGA.
And I know a couple of people, Max, with an MGA, and they're great. I mean, I'll give a shout out to Tim, who comes to the meets around me. He's got a beautiful one in Old English white, totally restored, and he keeps it pristine. I mean, you lift the engine bay. I'm super, super clean. He's cleaned everything with a toothbrush. But these cars look perfect parked up at any show and also on the move. And I'd say if you want a classic car, an MGA is a really good choice. Now, prices, like the weather, have cooled. So there's a few different ones. Can we just get our head around them? Because there was a 1500, wasn't there? A twin cam, a 1600 Mark II, and then I think a deluxe as well. So there's a few different ones, and the twin cam I think goes for the top dollar. But there are, it is a condition car. They were built between 1955 and July 62, and there was about 100,000 made. So with all that in mind, which one would you go for?
Let's get some fantasy checkbooks out and just pretend we can afford them and get the very most expensive one we can find, which is the twin cam. Now, the twin cam was actually a really nice car and relatively quick for the period. Here is one up on your screen now. It's a 1959 twin cam in red with black interior. Got a fantastic history dating all the way back to when it was bought in 59. It's been fully restored, and also you get that twin cam driving experience. Now, even if you're being positive, MGAs have got quite an old drive to them, particularly the 1500s, which is slow. That B-Series engine is a slow car. I think, the 0 to 60 time was something like 16 seconds when they first came out. It's not quick. However, the twin cam is relatively quick, and it sounds nice. Plus, all the kind of engine problems they had, which were legendary, have now been sorted out by now because people have had plenty of time to get them restored and done over. What do you think of this twin cam? I mean, classic MG red, I think that is perfect. It's got the steel wheels, it's got the knockoff spinners, it's got the black interior. That is just perfect MGA.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but you've gone in right at the top there. So the twin cam, obviously, if you get navel gazing with MGA owners, they're going to ask what type you've got, and the twin cam's the
twin cam
one. I think this is nice. I would like to go a little bit cheaper though, because I think 35 grand you've got to cough for this. And you've gone for a prestigious dealer as well. So, it's going to be a nice one.
Look at the rocker covers. They're polished. It's got
they
the twin
are.
carbs.
They are.
It is perfect.
As we say with classic cars, you could go cheaper and spend more, but, this one is probably spot on. But it's a little bit, I'm thinking it's a bit out of budget. So can we come down a little bit? Have you got anything else?
If you must.
Let's come down a little bit then. Let's look at what we like doing, which is sorting the price lowest to highest. The cheapest one on sale that we could find at the moment is a 1961 1600, a fixed head. Fixed head, though, not sure it's quite what I'm after. I think also if you're a slightly taller driver, it's probably a little bit cramped. I mean, I think for me, this is definitely a convertible car. I don't really want to be cramped in a fixed head coupe. However, it's 11,500. It's red.
Even better, this has had the upgraded Ivor Seal 1.85 bearing engines. That's the MGB engine in it. So that's a lot better car in terms of touring, because you can go places in it because it's got a bit more torque. I mean, 11.5 grand for that. That's cheap.
Okay. Well, we like that. That's a good start.
We're going to have a debate here, because what exactly is the best looking MGA? Is it the fixed head, what we just talked about, or is it the Roadster? Now, remember we talked a while ago about Frontline moving their attention to rester modding MGAs. Can we just treat ourselves to another quick look at the Frontline MGA? Oh, that's nice, isn't it? It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they've just kind of smoothed all the things that stick out of an MGA's body. It's got the Mark 1 lights. They've taken the indicators away from the front.
Whoa. This is a feature about affordable MGAs. You've gone for
but we're just gonna go down a cul-de-sac here, just briefly, to have a look at it, because it's so nice. It's just
you showed us a 35 grand
to get it
one
on the screen.
And then how much is this one? This is about 100,000.
Doesn't matter. We're just having a look. We're just window shopping. We're not buying. We're just window shopping. I just need to have a look at this car again.
Yeah, okay. Back in the real world. 1, 2, 3. Back in the room.
Do we have to?
Yeah, let's look at something back more in our price range. A 1957, another fixed head, MGA 1500, 17,950. This one in black with steel wheels on it. Again, I think probably for me the Roadster is better, but this one does look cool as well. It's got a lovely red interior, hasn't it?
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because actually you'd expect all these cars to be in kind of like Old English white and reds and look really good. But it's one of those cars that's so good, it still looks good in black, I think. I think actually I've seen a couple of black ones on the market, and they are really quite nice. Interestingly, if we just have a little sidebar here, we can go to original MGA factory colours. which you can see on your screen now. And here's a geek point. The Mark 1s were Orient Red, and the Mark 2s were Chariot Reds. There's two different reds, depending on if you've got the Mark 1 or the Mark 2. But if you look at the popular colours, it's going to be the reds, the Old English white. I've seen a few in Dove Grey, and the blues, the Glacier Blue, the Mineral Blue, and the RS Blue.
Yeah, I mean, they're nice. They are nice colours, don't they? And I think they would look good in any of those, as you say. There's certain ones. I mean, that light blue, that iris blue, though, I'd quite fancy one in that. It's almost like a baby blue kind of thing. Let's go for our best, though. A black 59 Roadster. This is a bit more on the money, 26,950. It's probably a car that would have been, north of 30, 35, a couple of years ago. But just talk us through it, Max.
Yeah. This is a fully restored car. So the MGA is one of those classic cars that there's no way you could buy a cheap one at auction and restore it for the price that they're going for now, fully restored. It's got an upgraded engine enlarged to 1.6 with 80 brake horsepower, 0-60 time off, 13 seconds. So that'll keep up all right. I think this is a really good one. Now, it is expensive. 26,000 for an MGA is quite a lot at the moment. However, you could never do that for anything less than 30,000 to do that one up. And also the fit lines are perfect. On MGAs, they're a body-on-frame chassis. So there's a little bit of flexibility. And a bit like E-Types and Series Land Rovers, if you get the door lining up wrong, particularly on the MGAs, it just looks all wrong. But these have got the doors lined up perfectly. And this is where to spot a really good restoration, is the join between the front wing and the door. Because if that's right, and those panel gaps are right, the whole car has been done right. And this one is perfect.
I think one thing we can say about MGAs, they're definitely worth a look because, even though they are technically smaller than that 120, they're cheaper, but actually you can fit in these. I mean, I can get in an MGA, but it is drivable. The thing with that 120, it wasn't drivable. We sat there and I was saying that, both, my knees, were up against, I was sort of in the sort of prone position, but I couldn't, my feet couldn't change the gear. I couldn't press the clutch. It wasn't thing, but at least in MGA I could. So I think they're definitely worth a look. I think the values seem sort of all over the place, but I would have a look at the auctions. And as we've said with a lot of cars, just sniff out the ones that have had a bit of work done and watch them coming through the auctions, especially this time of year, because that's when these are going to be a great buy.
The thing about the MGAs as well is if you go on any of the kind of like online classic car sites, you'll see a page of them. There's loads of them around. You can get everything to kind of like fit your budget. You can get everything to fit your tastes. You can have a very slow one or a slow one. You can have one with a roof and one without. You can put 5-speed boxes in them. You can upgrade them to MGB engines to make them a bit quicker. I don't think they're going to stay cheap for that long because it's getting to that point that they're iconic, they're great cars, and they're so cheap, people are going to start noticing them and thinking that's a bargain. So there goes another Tyre Kickers episode, in one ear and out the other. And that's just me with all the stuff that Matt said.
Listen and learn. It would do you well. Thank you, though, for paying attention, even if he didn't. And if you agree or disagree with anything we've said, it's highly likely, drop us a line and let us know.
Don't forget, you can find us at The Tyre Kickers UK on Instagram and The Tyre Kickers on Facebook.
We'll be getting ready for our big night at the Independent Podcast Awards. So we'll be talking classic limos. What's the most stylish stretch that would get us to the red carpet?
And just to be clear here, we're after something that looks ostentatious, not Austin Princess.
Now there is an idea. Don't forget to keep an eye on our socials for news in between the shows and also some special bonus episodes coming your way very soon.
And if you enjoyed this, do tell a friend. If you didn't know, we were never here. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Oh, a creaky chair.
Is that your hip?
That's a replacement as well.
You didn't go for the ceramic, too expensive.
No, I went for aftermarket.